Jury has found a gas station clerk guilty of a crime of passion in a 2023 murder. This all happened at a Shell station in East Austin and began when the victim entered the store with a knife. KXAN's Brianna Hollis has an in-depth explanation on how this case ended the way it did.
People who frequent this gas station, owned and operated by Yassine Naz and his family, filled up about a dozen pieces of notebook paper with their names and phone numbers, all willing to be character witnesses for Naz after he was charged with murder.
We had people testify that said that when they were having a bad day, they would stop by the gas station on their way home just because they wanted to talk to Yassine.
Angelica Cogliano is Naz's attorney.
And I want to say that this doesn't take away from the pain and the hardship that I know that anybody's family experiences when they lose a loved one.
In January of 2023, police say Marquise Demps came into the Shell station on MLK in Springdale in East Austin with a knife and started knocking things over. Naz, another clerk in Demps, then got into a physical fight, and Naz shot Demps as Demps sat in his car in the parking lot. Cogliano says self-defense was a primary argument.
Shot the individual because he was terrified about what he would do next or if he was going to come back into the gas station again.
A jury ended up returning a guilty verdict. What happened next, though, had a major bearing on Naz's 5-year prison sentence, which is on the lower end of the punishment range. The courts found this to be a case of murder under the influence of sudden passion.
Historically referred to as imperfect self-defense, which means that somebody was in fear when they took an action that took somebody else's life or used force against somebody else, but that fear wasn't reasonable.
Cogliano says the sudden passion decision came about during the punishment phase of the trial. Here's what that means. Trials are typically broken up into 2 different phases: the guilt and innocence phase, which is exactly what it sounds like, where a jury determines if someone is guilty or not guilty, and then the punishment phase, where either a judge or a jury determines how long someone will serve for a crime.
And if the jury does agree with you, the conviction stays murder, but the range of punishment is reduced. It becomes a 2nd-degree felony instead of a 1st-degree felony.
That lowered Naz's punishment range to 2 to 20 years instead of the standard 5 to 99 years for a 1st-degree murder. In Austin, Brianna Hollis, KXAN News.
All right, Bree, thank you so much. The Austin Police Department said early on it did not plan to investigate the shooting as a case of self-defense. In a statement, the district attorney's office said it is grateful for those who work to hold Naz accountable, and the office hopes the verdict helps the victim's family heal. Naz will be eligible for parole after serving half of his sentence, so in 2.5 years.